Imagine standing on a structure so long that if you started walking today, it would take you nearly 2 years of nonstop travel to reach the end. It is a giant stone dragon sleeping across the jagged spine of the mountains. But this isn't just a wall of bricks. It is a wall built on secrets, fear, and the lives of 1,000,000 souls. They call it the Great Wall, but history calls it the longest cemetery on Earth. Do you want to know what the stones are hiding? Let's begin.
Hello and welcome. If you're new here, welcome to Amazing 5.
To understand the Great Wall of China, you have to travel back in time, over 2,000 years ago. Imagine a land divided. China wasn't one big peaceful country, it was a collection of warring states, always looking over their shoulders. And for good reason. From the north, the Mongol invaders were coming. They were fast, they were brutal, and they left nothing but fire in their wake. The people were terrified, their homes were never safe, their children weren't secure. In the midst of this chaos, a man stepped forward with a vision that seemed impossible. His name was Qin Shi Huang, the first emperor of China. He looked at the vast open borders and realized that if he wanted to protect his empire, he needed more than an army. He needed a miracle. He decided to build a wall that would separate us from them forever. But miracles come with a heavy price. The emperor didn't just need stone, he needed hands. Millions of hands. He drafted everyone, farmers, soldiers, prisoners, and even scholars. Imagine being pulled away from your family, knowing you might never see them again. These workers were pushed into the most brutal conditions imaginable. In the scorching heat of the Gobi Desert, they carried heavy stones until their backs broke. In the freezing snow-capped mountains, they worked until their fingers turned black from frostbite. The video shows us a heartbreaking reality. History suggests that over 1,000,000 people died during the construction. There is a legend that says when a worker fell, there was no time for a funeral. There was no room for a grave. They were simply buried inside the very wall they were building. And every brick you see today might be resting on a story of a life lost. This is why many call it the longest graveyard in the world. It wasn't just built with mortar, it was held together by the tears of a nation. As you look at the footage, you see that the wall isn't just a straight line. It winds and twists like a living creature. This is because it wasn't built all at once. For nearly 2,000 years, different dynasties added their own pieces. They used whatever was available. In the deserts, they used rammed earth and willow branches. In the mountains, they carved massive blocks of granite. It eventually reached a staggering length of 21,196 kilometers. To put that in perspective, that is roughly half the circumference of the entire Earth. It is a structure so vast that for decades, those people believed a famous myth, that it is the only man-made object visible from the moon with the naked eye. However, as we dive deeper into the mystery, we find that science tells a different story. Even though the wall is long, it is narrow, often no wider than a 2-lane road. Astronauts have confirmed that from the moon, the wall is invisible. Even from low Earth orbit, it is incredibly difficult to see without a camera lens. But does that make it less great? Not at all. Its greatness lies in the fact that humans built it at all, using nothing but primitive tools and sheer willpower. But here's the most curious part of the story. After all the blood, the trillions of dollars in today's money, and the 2,000 years of labor, did it actually work? History gives us a surprising answer. No. But walls are only as strong as the people guarding them. In the 13th century, the legendary Mongol leader Genghis Khan simply found ways around it. Later, his grandson Kublai Khan conquered China and sat on the throne, despite the invincible barrier. In the 17th century, the Manchu army didn't even have to climb over the wall. A disgruntled Chinese general simply opened the gates at Shanhai Pass and let them walk right in. The wall, in the end, was a beautiful, tragic failure. It was a symbol of security that couldn't stop the tide of history. Today, the Great Wall has changed its face. The cannons are silent. The soldiers are gone. Instead of invaders, it welcomes millions of tourists. People from every corner of the globe come to walk where emperors once stood. But as the video shows, the wall is fading, and nature is reclaiming its territory. In many places, the wall is crumbling into dust. Farmers have taken bricks to build houses. wind and rain have eroded the ancient mud. Only about 8% of the wall is well preserved. When you stand on the wall today and look out at the mist-covered mountains, you feel a strange sense of peace. But if you listen closely to the wind whistling through the watchtowers, you can almost hear the echoes of the past. You hear the hammers hitting the stone. You hear the sighs of the tired workers. The Great Wall is no longer a defense against enemies. It is a monument to the human spirit, to our desire to protect what we love, our obsession with power, and our ability to build something that lasts long after we are gone. It is a reminder that while empires fall and borders change, the stories we carve into the earth will remain forever. The dragon is still there, sleeping on the mountains, waiting for the next traveler to come and hear its story. Will you be one of them?